Welcome to the Imagination Station. My name is Jake, and in this workshop, I'm going to show you how to draw superheroes. This is a record, and these superheroes are called Crafty Cuts and Charlie Tuna. And this is a big record I made for them, which comes with a comic. And look, there in the middle, that's me. They asked me to draw myself as a superhero. And I'm wearing a special suit that gives me my powers. I turn my friends, Charlie and Crafty, into superheroes. So Charlie's superhero name is the Purple Assassin, and Crafty's superhero name is Scratchman. And superheroes have secret identities. And that's what they look like when they're normal. And that's what they look like when they're superheroes. And on the back, there's a cutout mask. So you could dress up as a superhero. So I'm going to play some music that Charlie and Crafty made. And this music is called Superhero Kit.
And now a word from our sponsor. Have you ever thought to yourself, man, it would be cool to be a superhero? Well, now you can with our new Be a Superhero Kit. Fully equipped with mask, gloves, utility belt, boots, and cape. And you can choose whether to be a hero or a villain.
So this is a little superhero I drew earlier on. And superheroes have costumes. So this one I drew has the cape, the boots. Can you remember what else? A utility belt and a mask. Now, superheroes are often quite muscly and they have big square jaws. So I'm going to show you how to draw a superhero a bit like this. But I want you to think about what kind of superhero you'd be. Okay? So whilst you're thinking about that, I'm going to use my superpower, which is the superpower of super fast drawing, to draw this superhero. There we have a finished superhero. So what we're going to do next is I want you to draw yourself as a superhero. And you have to think of what powers you'd like. You could be invisible, or you could be super strong, or you could have Wi-Fi coming out of your fingers if you wanted. It's up to you what kind of powers you want. So let's draw another one. So I want you to think about what you look like. I'm going to imagine what you look like. So I'm going to start with a head this time. Draw a big circle. And I'm going to imagine that this one has curly hair. Maybe you've got curly hair, maybe you've got long hair, maybe you've got straight hair. So you draw whatever type of hair you've got. I'm going to colour this in. And I'm going to draw a different type of mask this time. I'm going to draw a pointy mask. I'm going to draw the eyes. This time I'm going to make my character look that way. We're going to draw a little nose again. And a smiley face. Some eyebrows. Now if you change the shape of the eyebrows and put one up and one slightly down, it makes him look a little bit cheeky. So next we're going to draw the body. And you've got to think, what body shape are you? Make it look like you. So this one is going to have his hands down by his sides. He's going to have big gloves on again, because lots of superheroes have gloves. I'm going to draw the hands like that. And either side. Often cartoon people only have 3 fingers because it's a little bit easier to draw. Again, we're going to draw, can you remember what it's called? The utility belt. And this one, let's give him a name. What should we call this one? Have you had any thoughts? What should we call this one? Let's call him Target Man. And on his chest, I'm going to draw a target. And Target Man can throw anything in the world perfectly, and it lands exactly where he wants it. So if he wanted to throw his pen into the pen pot, he would throw it and go, and it would land exactly in the pen pot. So I'm going to repeat the little logo on his utility belt so it matches. Give him the little belt loops there. And that's basically so it can keep his underpants up so they don't fall down when he's doing superhero type activities. Next we draw the legs. I'm going to make him stand a bit further apart than the first guy. So big boots. And then this superhero nearly finished. But I've forgotten something. What have I forgotten? Can you remember? What did Charlie say? It was gloves, utility belt, mask, boots. What's the bit I've forgotten? Oh yeah, it's a cape. It's a bit windy where Target Man lives, so his cape is flapping in the wind. Does he look finished to you? I think he's finished. And if you're a professional artist, you sign your drawings. So you put your name in the corner. Now my name is Jake. But I want you to put your name in the corner. Don't put Jake, that would be silly. Put your name in the corner. So the next one I'm going to draw is a little girl, and it's a superhero I made up, and she's called Squirrel Girl, and she has all the powers of an actual squirrel. So she can run up trees, and she designed herself a little squirrel costume. favourite thing to eat is nuts. Now, when you come up with a superhero name of your own, it's quite funny because there's so many superheroes out there. Maybe you'll come up with one that the name's already been taken. So you can't have Superman because he already exists, and you can't be Spider-Man because Spider-Man already exists. So the man who thought up the name for Spider-Man was called Stan Lee. And he came up with the name Spider-Man. And then an artist called Steve Ditko drew the costume and drew the comic that Spider-Man was in. Now, Stan Lee used to come up with superhero names all the time. And I bet one of the ones he came up with as a good idea would have been Fireman. Imagine a superhero who had fire powers. And I can't prove it, but I bet he came up with the name Fireman. And then I bet either Steve or another famous cartoonist called Jack Kirby went to him, "You can't be called Fireman." And he went, "Why not?" And he went, "Well, because it sounds like fireman, like a fireman that puts out fires." So you have to think of a power that nobody else has thought of and give yourself a name. So often a good idea is to think of your favourite animal. Make a superhero that's a bit like an animal that maybe has animal powers. So you can't have an Ant-Man because Ant-Man's already been done. But I don't think anybody's done an armadillo. Maybe I'm wrong. Armadillo Man or Zebra Girl. So I want you to use your brains and think, what superhero could you be? This one is Squirrel Girl, and she's got little whiskers. And that's how you draw Squirrel Girl. So I want you to think really hard about what kind of superhero you'd be. And I can't wait to see what you've drawn. And here's what they look like when they're coloured. So it doesn't matter what you use. I used markers, but you can use felt tips, crayons, paint, whatever you want. So when you've drawn your superhero, you can invent a colour scheme for him. Have fun. Bye-bye.